Everything we consume, be it a hamburger or a web page, places a certain amount of demand on the planet's natural resources. Taken together, all these things make up your environmental impact, sometimes expressed as your eco-footprint. Welcome to WatchMojo's Top 5 Facts. In today's installment, we're counting down the 5 most fascinating facts that you probably didn't know about your impact on the environment. These facts are just a small glimpse on a vast and complicated topic. And we've deliberately avoided facts about recycling, as that's a list for another day.
Here you go, honey. That's about all the recycling I can handle today.
Number 5. Greener, more efficient energy sources may only increase consumption. Okay, so this is more of a theory than a fact, but it's really compelling, so we're including it. Let's say you get a more energy efficient car. You naturally think, great, now I can drive more. And so you end up driving more, thereby reducing or even negating the energy savings. Or maybe you say, great, I've saved so much money on gas, now I can take a trip to Europe. And poof, all your savings are gone. These are examples of what's called the rebound effect, or Jevons paradox. Counteracting the rebound effect is very difficult since exponential growth is essential to a capitalist economy. As a reaction, an ideological movement called degrowth has developed, based on the idea of deliberately shrinking the economy.
You know you shrunk it. Just tell me you shrunk it.
I shrunk it.
Number 4. Your wardrobe has its own footprint.
See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. Feel this sweater, there's no better than authentic Irish setter.
Bet you never gave much thought to what it takes to create your clothes. According to Levi's, a single pair of jeans will use 3,000 liters or 790 gallons of water in its life cycle. Roughly half of that is Levi's growing and processing the cotton, and half is you cleaning them over and over again. Conventional cotton, by the way, is one of the most pesticide-intensive crops on the planet. Also, it's estimated that over 100,000 tons of textile dyes find their way past water treatment facilities and into waterways and oceans every year. Synthetic materials like nylon and polyester can release greenhouse gases and heavy metals into the atmosphere. Choosing organically grown natural fibers is probably your best bet.
It goes back to the way we used to do things. It goes back to using just the natural products that we have. I want to make sure that I leave the land in good shape and that it will continue to produce crops to feed and clothe the world.
Number 3. Your electric car may actually run on coal.
Since then, he sold his oil fortune, converted himself from a gas guzzler into an electric car, and has devoted his life to finding a renewable, clean-burning fuel.
You can charge up your Tesla and feel good that you aren't spewing nasty exhaust everywhere while you carpool to work, but where is your electricity coming from? Coal is still the US's major source of electricity, while only 13% of the country's electricity comes from renewable resources. The story in the UK is roughly the same, but if you manage to find a provider of renewable energy or create your own, then you're good to go.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Number 2. Even your corpse pollutes.
And we must always be on guard for the mischievous lip drift. Even the slightest hint of teeth can be disastrous. You cannot have grief tragically becoming comedy.
The Center for Disease Control in the US says we have about 219 toxic chemicals in our bodies just hanging out. Then we die and they go back into the environment in one form or another. If you're cremated, they'll go into the air. In fact, it's been estimated that 16% of the mercury emissions in the UK come from cremated dental fillings.
All right, it is cavity time.
If you are buried, you'll be slathered in makeup and pumped full of formaldehyde, which is also pretty toxic. But artist J. Rim Lee is experimenting with a burial suit that is inoculated with spores of mushrooms, which would be able to eat your body and break down the toxins therein.
And believe it or not, a few people have offered to donate their bodies to the project to be eaten by mushrooms.
Number 1. You can reduce your impact by 90% or more. Eco-villages are communities created with the goal of social, environmental, economic, and cultural sustainability. Dancing Rabbit is one such community in Missouri, USA. They aim to live on 10% of the resources that the average American lives on. Far from living a life of poverty though, they seem to be perfectly happy. They build homes from locally sourced natural materials, plant gardens instead of lawns, use solar energy, share vehicles, and use composting toilets.
which is just a little goofy. Like, think about all the people in the world who still don't have access to potable water, and we are over here pooping in it.
Moving out of the city and into a whole new social structure may not be for everybody, but there are probably lessons that everybody can take from eco-villages like this.
And when we're not out saving the environment, we're thinking of you. Naked, thigh deep in tofu.
So, what do you think? What are you doing to reduce your environmental impact?
Don't leave that there, Stub. Free refills with proof of purchase seal.
Nice call.
For more eco-friendly top 10s and wildly unsustainable top 5s, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
People, if we meet this week's quota, I'll take you to the most duck-filled pond you ever sat by.
Oh, hot diggity, that tally got me to vote for Lyndon LaRouche.